Hey everyone, we're back with Jennifer Larmore to talk about turning points, how to deal with stress, and just general advice for young artists today. Thank you so much for being here. I want to kick off the conversation by talking about turning points. Do you feel like you had a turning point that led you to become the artist that you are today, or was it a sort of gradual transition? And if there was a turning point, what was that for you?
For me, that would have happened the second year of my career when I did Anna Bolena in Nice, at Opéra de Nice. I thought it would be okay to do a role like that because Marilyn Horne did it. So I thought, well, that was fine. But I think, I'm not sure, but I think she might have taken it down a few notches, and a few keys. So for me, in the beginning, I thought, well, okay, I do this. But then when I started to get into the music, I realized that it was way too high for me at that point. And so there I was every day just trying to crank up my voice, and get it as high as I could. Well, I finally was able to do that, but the tempo had to be right. We had a conductor, and I swear I don't remember his name. I'm not just being tactful or political or anything like that. Okay, I might have even just blocked it out. I don't know, but he would not go that tempo that I needed. Like when you do coloratura, and there's a tempo where you do it really great, and there's another tempo where you crash and burn. Well, he was doing the crash and burn tempo for me. So I remember Yevgeny Nesterenko was doing the Henry, and there's a duet that comes, I don't even remember when it is, second act or something. Anyway, we were on the stage, and I remember the conductor started, this was opening night, he started the tempo even slower than we had rehearsed it, knowing that I couldn't do it that way. I don't know why he did that, but he did it. And so I put my hand on the shoulder of Yevgeny, and I tapped out a faster tempo. And he was like, yeah, okay, yeah. So he started singing with me, and the conductor was going, go my tempo. Oh, and we were getting so mad. And so we started inching towards the front of the stage, and we were glaring down at the conductor, and we were singing, and it was getting higher and higher. And I thought I would just, die. I thought there was going to be blood on the walls from my vocal cords just, exploding. I've never been so scared and so mad in my life. Character be damned. It went out the window. I'm always talking about the character, but that just went out the window. I was just like, I'm going to kill this conductor after I get off this stage. But I wanted to survive that. Well, I noticed something really interesting. The audience was starting to go to the edge of their seats, and there was an excitement happening. And at the end of this duet, it never went the tempo it was supposed to go, but the end of this duet was like a feeding frenzy. The people jumped up. They were screaming like animal guttural sounds. They went bananas. And I thought, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What is happening here? And I realized that they had mistaken my terror for great acting and intensity. And after that night, I was never afraid of anything again. It was the most huge turning point for me in my very early career. Thank God I learned it all in the beginning, and didn't have to wait 30 years to get to that turning point. That was like hitting a wall and coming out the other side. It was amazing. And the next day, all the reviews were, the success of Jane. Jennifer Larmore is a revelation. Well, let me tell you, Jennifer Larmore had a revelation, and it was amazing. I guess that was my turning point. But I have to be honest with you, there have been a lot of turning points. That's the first one. You will always have a lot of epiphanies, realizations, turning points, all the way through your career, and to just keep your ears and your eyes and your mind and your hearts open to really be able to explore those and learn from them.
Oh my God, what stress. But I'm so glad that you were able to turn it into a positive moment and that it really just worked out for you. But speaking of stress, I'm sure your whole career, because it was so successful, was accompanied with like enormous amounts of stress. Do you have any advice for young singers who are dealing with stress on how to take care of their mental health and deal with everything that's thrown at them?
Yes, I do. I just recently also got over an ulcer from stress. So, I mean, no matter what you try to do, sometimes this business, the whole idea of what we do is kind of strange if you think about it, you know. But all of the things that go on top of it and interfere sometimes with you really just trying to do a good job. The jealousies, the politics, the travel, all of that is enough to send your body into overdrive. Okay, so you have to find one day, well, one moment. I don't mean day, I mean moment. You have to find one moment during the day when you can let your mind be still. My mind has a tendency to go really fast. That is because I have like burned the candle at both ends for 40 years. And I've never said no to anything just about, well, no, I said no to Covent Garden like 4 or 5 times, but I finally did what I wanted to there. But my mind goes real fast and I have to tone it down sometimes, you know, and that means for me, reading. I need to read. I need to play with my puppy dog. I need to laugh a lot. I watch a lot of Friends, you know, and I need good friends around me. I would rather laugh, I think, than anything. I guess you can tell that. And I find that for us to manage stress, each person has to know what makes them laugh, what makes them relax. And don't forget to breathe. I know that sounds weird, but a lot of times during the day, I'll take a good deep breath. Let's just say I go and have a wonderful foot massage or something like that, you know, and I go, oh, there's been a million times when I've thought, oh my God, that's the first time today that I have, you know, taken any kind of really good deep breath. And that helps a lot.
So I definitely am with you on the laughter. That's my personal remedy. So I think that's great. I want to ask you now about learning multiple scores at the same time. Do you have any tips, tricks, or advice for the young singers of today learning just a lot of music at the same time?
You need to be very organized. If you are lucky enough, let's say, to be this popular, where you have a lot of music to learn. Also, I hate to say it, but you have to be self-motivated, because if you're not, you simply won't make the good decision to get it learned. You'll be a procrastinator, and that is never anybody's friend, you know, and it doesn't help you, and it only makes you go to the first rehearsal nervous as can be. Okay. So I think that as far as learning music, you have to not over stimulate your brain. You know, don't do it till you feel like your brain is about to explode. Okay. But give yourself an hour, go through the score in whatever place you're at, you know, if you're memorizing or if you're learning the music or whatever, give yourself an hour or two, whatever you can handle, and then take a break from it. Okay. And then come back to it. I think each person knows how much they can handle.
So I'm getting to the point in the interview where I want to ask everyone the same question. Do you have any advice to your younger self?
What advice would I have given? Oh my God, that is a great question. Huh. I think maybe I would have told myself to learn how to relax a little bit more and learn a very important little word, NO. You know, because I would just say yes to everything. I would try everything. I wanted to make everybody happy, and you can't do that. I would tell myself, don't even try to make everybody happy. Do your best, do the best you possibly can by the music, by the text, by the score, but mostly by yourself. Because, I mean, nobody ever said at the end of their life, oh, I wish I'd learned more scores. You know, I think they said mostly, I wish I'd spent more time with my family, or I wish I'd been better to myself. I wish I'd have read this more books, you know, or played with my dog more, or played with my kid, or whatever. That's what I would tell me.
Is there anything you want to impart on the young artists of today?
Yes, I would love to tell young artists to keep their ears open. I know that sounds funny, but if somebody's telling you something, keep your ears open and trust your gut. If a teacher tells you you don't have a beautiful voice and we're going to make it beautiful and all that, run as fast as you can away from that studio. No, you don't want that. You want to have support. You want to be empowered. You want to have the tools to make really good decisions, because when you're on stage by yourself, you're by yourself. You're not, you know, your teacher's not there with you. Your coach isn't there. They might be, in a way, they might have put things into your head, but it's you. You need to be the one that's in control and powerful. And don't ever let anybody tell you that you're not unique and wonderful, and that your voice is not something that should be cherished, because it is. It's not something you have to beat into submission. I learned that a little too late, I think. But I would love to just tell singers to enjoy it more. Don't ever lose the joy of singing, even if you're worried about it, technique or whatever, because young singers have a tendency to think really about the technique, and I have to do this way, and it has to be done by a certain date. No, just, yeah, get it done, but don't lose the joy. Keep the joy of singing.
Thank you so much for being here. It's just been really fun, super informative, and I can't thank you enough. For those of you listening, I just want to highly recommend, again, Jennifer Larmore's book, Una Voce. It's an incredible resource for young artists. You can buy it at jlarmorebook.com. And if you want to read more about her, visit her website, www.jenniferlarmore.net. I'm Theodora, and this has been In the Wings with Jennifer Larmore. Join us next time as we talk with Jorge Perotti about auditions from the point of view of the panel. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And if you like this video, subscribe to my channel. I hope you tune in next time.